Welcome to another episode of Prioritize. They accomplish while you drown in lists. It's difficult to juggle your responsibilities. Husband, father, brother. It goes on, but your energy doesn't.
You pondering what I'm pondering?
Prioritize what's right for you, not what's left behind. This is Prioritize with Toby Baker.
You'll have to speak up. I'm wearing a towel.
Greetings, gentlemen and ladies. This is Prioritize. Here we discuss prioritizing faith, family, relationships, and yes, even a little bit more than that. Not too much more than that. I don't want to go beyond and try to build your hopes up as if this is some kind of spectacular show where you were going to walk, well, maybe you walk away amazed. Maybe you walk away changed. Maybe you walk away feeling like, yes, that was the best 15 minutes I've spent this morning. Until you have your coffee and then you're like, oh, that podcast was terrible. This coffee is the best 15 minutes I've had this morning. Greetings, everyone. I am your crazy-eyed, formerly fat host, the Baker Boy himself. Welcome to the show. Hey, thanks for downloading. Thanks for following if you follow. Thanks for your comments if you comment. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate the emails, and I'm ever so grateful for the words of encouragement. We just went through Christmas, did we not? Did we not? We were there. Christmas was there. We were having a fantastic time. I think, maybe, hopefully everyone was having a great time. And now it's gone. It's over. There it was. It was here and it's gone. It's like the white rabbit. You know, chasing down the white rabbit. Did she ever really catch the white rabbit? Did Alice, the right Alice, not the wrong Alice.
She's the wrong Alice.
If she was, she might be.
Absalom will know who she is.
Alice good.
Did she ever catch the white rabbit? Did she ever sit down and have a little tea party with the white rabbit? The white rabbit, yes, was there at the Mad Hatter tea party. We wait for it all year. Maybe not you. Maybe because you're a smart person and you have a level head on your shoulders and things work out according to how you plan. That's not me. It doesn't work out that way. I'm one of those, I don't know, man, but I'm an anomaly. Am I one of those anomalies? I'm the things that fall out of the freezer. You have everything cool, right? Everything is in its place in the freezer. You open up the freezer door, boom, I fall out. What the devil? Why was Toby in our freezer again? I'm one of those things that doesn't fit. I'm the last block on that. You remember the little, you probably don't. It kind of depends on how old you are or how young you are, if we want to be all politically correct. Do you remember when you were a kid, or maybe it was when your dad was a kid, they used to have this little, it's like a plastic ball, but it had little shapes all over the ball. And then you could pull it apart. It was connected. So it would automatically spring loaded, so it would come back together. And that's how you would empty out all of these shapes. And there was like that one last shape you could never fit in. I was trying to put the triangle into the circle. It never went in there, and I would wind up just throwing it against the wall, and it broke, and we'd have to get a new one. I'm that misshaped thing. It doesn't fit in the circle. I fall out of the freezer. You know, my kids mock me for this. And I'm sure you can understand because much like myself are you, as we open up the refrigerator door, there's a place for condiments, is there not? There's a place for meats. There's a place for cheese. There's a place for condiments. They're on the door. You can't put meat and cheese on the door. It doesn't go there. It's never gone there, and it never will go there. It's ridiculous. Why in the world would you put meat and cheese in the door? It makes absolutely no sense at all. And if that's where your refrigerator claims you should put your meat and cheese, take it back. Take it back and get another one. I know. The chip shortage is going to be incredibly bad for you to get a brand new refrigerator that actually has the meat and cheese where the meat and cheese is supposed to go since the beginning of the refrigerator. God bless his name or her name, whoever created it. I'm ever so grateful because when I go into my refrigerator where the meat and cheese is supposed to be, I can pull out the cheese, let it sit out for a good hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depending on the consistency of the cheese, what kind of cheese it is, right? How long do you leave yours out before you can actually partake of the cheese to where it warms up to just above room temperature or maybe right at room temperature? And then you slice off a lovely shred of that cheese and goes upon some carbs. You ingest that and you look out into your kingdom and you think, yes, this is a good day. I actually had no intentions of going wherever it is that I wound. Oh, yes, the door. The condiments are supposed to face a certain way, are they not? They face the front. That way, when you open up the door, you're not guessing, is this the tomato sauce ketchup from Hunt's or Heinz? Or is this my Frank's Red Hot? Now, you should be able to tell by the bottle. Yes, indeed, you're absolutely right. However, there are labels on those jars for a reason. I would have preferred if they faced the front. What do my kids do? Hey, Dad, you want to grab me some mustard? I go in to find the mustard. It's not where it should be. The mustard has a specific place in the door. Why? Because the mustard is a smaller bottle than the ketchup, and both of those should be facing the front when you open up the door. Why is this so tough to understand? Can you feel me out there? Do you feel my pain? Do you understand what I go through now? If you don't have kids, go to your local department store. Make sure you take a coupon. Go to Honey. They're not an advertiser on my program. I don't have any advertisers on my program. And I'm sure you're sitting out there saying, that's a big surprise. But Honey does coupons. You might be able to find one for kids. You go to aisle, is it 13 or 14? Can't quite remember where we picked ours up. 25 years ago. That was a good day. That was a good day. You try to hang on to the moments like those, especially in times like these. You try to hang on to the good moments. This is the reason, folks, we have memories. Because we're going to wake up and get out of bed on a day and it's Monday. I can't get out of the driveway because 10 inches of snowfall just fell behind my car, has completely blocked me in. That alongside with the street department who, God bless them, and sometimes they do blow all the snow right up against your car and you can't really, it's kind of hard to get that out. But nevertheless, I'm the guy I'm the thing that falls out of your freezer, which you thought you had it perfectly placed back in what we had to do here just recently because somebody who wishes to remain nameless, and I have no idea who they were because quite honestly, they're remaining nameless. We had to defrost the freezer. You ever had to do that? Well, Tobe, had you got a freezer that you didn't have to defrost, you wouldn't have this problem. Hey, buddy, I did get a freezer that was the anti-frosting, defrosting. You didn't have to do anything. You just put the food in there. Then when you wanted to get it out of the freezer, you open up the door and then boom, take your food out, go stick it in the oven or put it in the frying pan with lots and lots of butter and seasoning salt and some Tony Chachere's and garlic. And it's a marvelous meal. What meal am I talking about? The answer is yes. Right? Tony Chachere's, huh? Am I lying? No, of course not. You put that stuff on everything. All right, so we just recently had to defrost our freezer because somebody didn't close the door all the way, and God knows how long that thing was open. 8 hours? I open up who did this? Really? There's frost everywhere. I don't like the frost. I don't need it in my freezer, Sam I am. So we spent a couple of hours pulling everything, and luckily it's like -2 outside and snowy, so we can set that stuff outside in a cooler, and it's going to be fine. It's just 2 hours out of my life I can't get back. Fortunately, we had all 3 boys here. So, yes, they were very helpful in emptying the freezer, and then we got the hot pans of water, and they brought down a space heater, and we got that, defrosting, and didn't take too long. And we got everything back in there. Yes, all the boxes are facing the proper direction. We have a shelf for meat. We have a shelf for the chicken and for the pork. We have space for our sausage, that comes in the rolls of sausage, maple, hot, sage, Italian. So, there's the shelf for that. And then Joyce gets this great cured bacon from one of her family members. So we got that in the door. And, everything has a place. Why? Because it leaves more space in the freezer for bacon. There's a food shortage coming, my friends. I keep hearing this from various outlets, and you can call me crazy, but when you go to the grocery store and you're looking around for stuff, there's not a lot of stuff. Am I right? You go to the shelves. I tried doing this program. It was a side hustle. My wife and I are still getting out of debt, so I'm looking at different side hustles. There's this thing called Shipt. Hey, watch your language. No, it's not. It's not what I said. I said Shipt. I don't want to hear. This is family programming. Right. I'm saying Shipt. SHIP is in Paul. T is in Tango. Oh, okay. Carry on. So I tried this program. I'm not thoroughly happy about it because there's some real stingy people out there. Can you believe this? I'm delivering their groceries early in the morning out in the snow, a 9-inch snowstorm, which turned into a 14-inch snowstorm in the city. No gratuity, no 10%, no 5%, no nothing. Taking that into consideration, for the amount of time and the hustle and that I'm doing this, I'm thinking I may not be doing this much longer. Anyway, nearly every single item on their list, I'm contacting my customer about substituting the item. They're all out of potatoes. Okay, get some tater tots. They have 0 potatoes. No potatoes, no tater tots, no sweet potato fries. No fries, period. You're going to have to use, and I would suggest, I say, you could take a 10-pound bag of potatoes, cube them up, throw them into an iron skillet with coconut oil or my favorite, bacon grease. You can actually, chop up your bacon, throw it in there, get the bacon grease going, right? Pull the bacon out, throw your potato cubes in there. So you're making home fries, and you want to toss those around. You want to leave the fries in there. You're going to be coating them. You're going to be stirring them up here for a good 15 minutes minimum before you toss the bacon back in, because you don't want the bacon to be too crispy. It's going to, you're not trying to burn the bacon, right? You want the bacon to be good. You want the potatoes to be good. Anyway, what does any of this have to do with today's podcast? I'm just saying there's not a lot on the shelves at the grocery stores. I'm just saying we recently had to defrost our freezer, and I'm shelving up the bacon. I'm not a hoarder except when it comes to bacon and donuts and also bacon. So I don't want us to go hungry. I'm thinking of other people here. Is that so wrong? Is that like evil? No, it's not evil. I can feel you judging me out there. But you know what? You're not going to be judging and looking condescending downly upon me when you're out of meat and your freezer is fully frosted over because you didn't follow these simple instructions. There's nothing on the shelves, and you're knocking on my door 2 a.m. asking if you can borrow some bacon. And who can borrow bacon anyway? Nobody borrows bacon. But I digress. You know why? Because I'm not a full-on crazy person. I'm just half-on crazy person. Christmas was here, and now it's gone. I look forward to this time of year all year long. I get these big, huge ideas in my head. I'm the original Clark W. Griswold, and you know who I'm talking about. If you don't know who I'm talking about, you should not be listening to this podcast, and your membership is revoked, my friend. Come back after you have watched fully, and probably numerous times, thus, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation starring Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo. And there's others in there, but I'm not trying to go down the list. Remember, at the end of the day, he just got the tree home, and he was cutting it down, and he opened it up, and he's trimming the tree out, and they're lying in bed, and he's talking about having the family over, and his wife, Beverly D'Angelo's right there. I'm not sure you understand how difficult it's going to be having everybody in the same household. He's got these grand ideas in his head. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be spectacular. It's going to be fabulous having everybody here, and he's got sap all over his hands, and he's trying to shut off the light, and he was trying to look through the magazine, and the pages are ripping. So, it's funny. Yeah, I'm that guy, especially when it comes to holidays. Easter, Resurrection Sunday, Christmas, my birthday. I mean, all the big ones, right? All the big ones. And I get it in my head that we're going to go, we're going to do this thing. It's going to be fun. Everyone's going to have a great time. And then reality sinks in. You ever seen a Norman Rockwell painting? If you haven't, you really should. Especially up close. You can obviously you can go to DuckDuckGo. You can check him out. Norman Rockwell, and see his whole cache of paintings. A phenomenal artist. Really, really good talent. He painted the things that he wanted to see. His paintings did not reflect his reality. They didn't reflect wonderfully happy people in his home. But rather, they reflected what he wanted to see, what he had hoped for in his life. Today, we prioritize standards. I set standards for me really high, irrationally high, as it were. Why? Because I think I can do better. And then when I don't do better, I fail miserably. I look at myself in the mirror and say, you idiot, you moron. What is wrong with you? Now that is not a positive way to handle rejection, failure, the feeling of being obsolete. Obviously, none of that is healthy. None of it is positive. But I am being real with you. So I'm sure there's people out there like, but Tobe, your hair is so perfect. Yes. And you're right. And thank you. I appreciate that. And still, I get these feelings of, doggone it, I failed. Big time. What was I thinking? Why did I think I could accomplish this? And that will probably forever be one of my crosses that I bear because I want to accomplish it. I want to reach that height. A few years back, Joyce and I started talking. My wife, she is so gracious. She is my favorite person on the face of this planet. We're talking. It's like, hey, after the holidays, wouldn't it be great if? And she's like, you go get a cabin together. I said, yes. Let's do that. Let's go to a cabin out in the middle of nowhere and we'll bring our boys. We'll shut everything off. I don't care if it's a one-room cabin in the middle of nowhere. We'll have a fire going. We'll do hot cocoa. We'll play cards and tell stories. Now, Tobe, yeah, Joyce, no, it's going to be, Tobe, temper those down a little bit. Joyce, it's going to be fabulous. You're just not seeing it. It's okay. Tobe, I know what's going to happen. So she's my anchor. Obviously, that is my anchor and my rock. I get it. Please don't go there. Let's keep it in Toby land for just a second. Outside of the Lord God Almighty, who gifted me this beautiful, gracious woman, a model wife, to say the least, and she helps to keep me anchored into reality. That not everything that I envision within my grand imagination is actually going to come to pass. And I need to accept that. I can set high standards for myself, but not so for other people. It's not fair to them. And quite honestly, it's not fair to me either. However, there are those instances where you're like, I don't think I set them really that high. I mean, there's so much that goes on in between October and December, from the holy day, holiday, Christmas parties and New Year's parties and Thanksgiving holiday and all the planning and preparation and cooking and after cooking and family time and Christmas cards. And obviously with the fear of COVID, a lot of that was put on hiatus during 2020 and even 21. We were still getting together. We were still celebrating the birth of Christ. We were celebrating Thanksgiving and feasting and offering gratitude for the things and the relationships that we get to enjoy. And then we get so worn out and tired and burnt out, and it's like, I just need a breather. So our idea was, let's eliminate, get this debt out of our lives. That's what we're working on. And we're like, well, we got most of that. Let's go for a retreat. Okay, fine. It's not the Dave Ramsey way. I get that. I'll own up to that. But the retreat. I mean, we took one in 21. Really cool. It was literally in the middle of nowhere. We went to this place in Harbor Springs, Michigan. And you're driving, and then you just keep driving, and you keep driving. It was like Brad Pitt in True Romance, he's that wasted guy on the couch. Like, you're gonna keep driving, and you keep driving. And as you're driving, it's getting darker. It's almost like, a perfect setting for a horror movie, right? Because you're in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere. Your GPS goes cattywampus, and you have no cellular signal, and you're like, well, I hope we get there okay. Well, finally we get out to the cabin in 21, and it was great. Big cabin, beautiful cabin. The layout was a little awkward, but there was this humongous mantle that was made out of like half a tree. They cut a tree down, they cut it in half, they scored it and put a nice polish on it and slapped it on the top of this fireplace. It was incredible. There was no internet. There was television. It was downstairs, and nobody wanted to go downstairs. We kind of huddled around the main floor. We made a puzzle, like all these things, and they had this gymnasium, like a legit gymnasium membership thing right on site. It was a different building entirely, but you would go in there anytime you wanted, and they had treadmill and elliptical. They had speakers the size of my mom. A little about the size of my mom. These things, they were massive speakers. They were so amazing. And you're pumping out the music. They had like 5 different free weight sets. They had 3 different exercise machines. They had mirrors all up and down the sides so you can watch yourself, getting pumping the iron. Just really incredible. And there was no internet. So you're not distracted with Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn and email and making phone calls and catching up on work and none of that. You're at an honest to God retreat. We thought, man, this is great. We had my brother and his wife and our nieces over there, and then my mom and dad and another niece was there, and then our family was there, and so 3 different full-on families sharing this. It was great. They had a hot tub, so you're in the hot tub. It's like 20 degrees outside. You're overlooking the mountaintops. It was just so cool. I mean, literally and figuratively speaking, it was amazing. Really, really good. Like, hey, everyone enjoyed it. Let's do this again. So we did. It was slightly different this round. Nevertheless, I had it in my Clark W. Griswold Jr. head that this is going to be even better than last year. My brother, he found another sweet cabin. This time it was over in the Smokies. I thought, hey, that's like 8.5 hours away from where we live. And Joyce and I are looking at each other like, what if we sprang for a minivan? We got rid of our minivan when we got an SUV, and Joyce was, this is so cool. This is a great story. I think you're going to like this. Or not, because I'm the one, I don't know. Either way, ever since I met Joyce and knew Joyce, she has always wanted a Jeep Grand Cherokee. And initially, it was the kind of the two-tone green. Do you remember the two-tone green Grand Cherokees with the brown leather interior? And so cool, right? If you're a Jeep person, like those are legit classic. Well, we didn't find that. We instead found, and our minivan was about ready to bite the dust. It was 19 years old. Oh, I hated getting rid of that. I really did. It was such a great minivan. It was a blue Chrysler Town and Country. It was when I was in the ministry. It was a gift to our family and so massively just amazing. Amazing. We kept that for as long as we could. We had it running for as long as we could. Obviously, in that amount of time, you have to replace several elements, but such a good minivan. And we both missed and we both cried when that left. But introducing the white Jeep Grand Cherokee, it's a 2010, paid cash for it. Why? Because we were out of debt, or almost out of debt anyway. It's hard to fit 5 people in a Jeep Grand Cherokee from 2010. They're just not built. I think 4 people definitely is, you can fit them in there. I don't know about long periods of time. 2 people, absolutely. Joyce and I can go anywhere in that thing and it's fine. The 4 of us, we could do it. 5 of us, no. All 3 of our boys tower over the both of us. I think they got it from Joyce's side. Her side, they're taller. I can still take them to the ground. Not that I do that, every time, but between a wrestling match, they know Dad. They know Dad's got it. Anyway, you can't fit 3 of those guys in the back seat. It's not going to happen. So we're like, hey, what if we snagged a minivan for this ride? Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Well, the closest one we could find was 2.5 hours away. So the day before we're heading out for the Smokies, Joyce and I hop into my car. Took my car, went on down and switched it out. We were in it. We were using Turo. By the way, if you've never used Turo, highly recommend. That thing is amazing. It's like the Airbnb and VRBO of the car rental industry. You're basically renting somebody else's owned vehicle, and you can find convertible BMWs on there and drop-top cherry red Mercedes-Benz convertibles, and it's a lot of fun. There's Teslas on there. Just give it a spin, okay? I really think you're going to enjoy it. So we found a really nice 2017, I think, Dodge Grand Caravan, power everything, heated seats. Did it have a heated steering wheel? I don't know. Somebody smacked into my car last week when I was driving in Michigan. I wasn't real appreciative of that, but I am driving a Dodge Charger right now while my car's in the shop getting worked on. It has heated steering wheels. Oh my gosh. What a game changer. Have you ever driven a car with a heated steering wheel when it's 2 degrees outside and you're just getting, oh man, that's luxury right there, buddy. That's the goods. That's so good. I have no idea where I was going with this. Okay, so coming back downtown to Chinatown, we snagged this minivan. So now we can all fit in there with our luggage. And yeah, even though we're going to be cramped in the car, we can make it for 2.5 hours. But come on, 8.5, 9 hours in the 5 of us in a small car or in a Jeep Grand Cherokee, it's just not comfortable, right? And how would you like it if you were to switch hats or to switch places with one of your kids? You'd be like, hey guys, we're going to drive for 9 hours south into a small compact car with our luggage and a cooler and food, and what do you think? It's going to be great. And like, really? I remember when my dad, he drove everywhere. He loved driving. That's because when he was younger, well, Grandpa was a farmer. He owned his own farm, owned his own business, and their vacation was they climb into the station wagon and they drive for the next 3 months, and that was their summer. They're in the car. They would pull over to the side of the. I know you're going to think this is just hyperbole, and it's not true, but honest to God, this is what they did. For their meals on vacation, they would pull over to the side of the road. They would get out of the car. They would put down the hatch on their station wagon, and that was their table. And then they would pull out bread and peanut butter and jelly, and they made sandwiches. Oh, and he's still alive today. Can you believe it? Both my dad and my mom, they're still alive today. I don't know how they did it. They're so brave. They're so brave. I have difficulty doing that they did that with us kids too. When they would throw us into, well, didn't literally throw us into, they used cannons to get us into the station wagon. And then when you're in the wagon, you're traveling, what was it, like 16 or 18 hours south in a station wagon to Florida where my aunt, uncle, and cousins lived. And they did sort of the same thing. We'd pull into a grocery store parking lot. Have you ever, today, I have not seen this happen today. I saw a Facebook post. I was like, oh, yep, that's my mom and dad right there. They pull into a grocery store parking lot, and mom's like, okay, guys, we're going to get some lunch. I'm like, where? Where's the McDonald's? I don't see the McDonald's. Where's the McDonald's? Why are we at a grocery store? Why are we in the park? Where's Dad going? Where's he going? Is he going to find out where the McDonald's is? No, he did. They went in and got bread and peanut butter and jelly, and that was our dinner. Oh, that's why I podcast today. It's okay. I'm over it now. I can talk about it. It's okay. There's no hard feelings. Yes, it was healthier than McDonald's, but they didn't have French fries. And that's what we knew as lunches, my brother and my sister and I, going down to Florida and back. Now, you know what? Dad was a frugal guy. He was trying to save money. And, okay, fine. We can all stand to save some money. We don't all need to go to McDonald's or Burger King or Arby's or Hardee's or Wendy's or whatever your go-to fast food restaurant is, Taco Bell, and all of the slang that they have for those restaurants on the street. all the cool names that I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe we'll go back to doing that someday. There is a bit of a shortage, so I don't know if you can necessarily do that today. But I don't know. Well, pick your poison. We're in the. What did we do? We packed our breakfast, which was great. It was all healthy. It was pineapple and grapes and apples and strawberries and what else did we have? I think I had beef stick in there. Pretty sure I had beef stick. And then we stopped at a Culver's, I believe, for lunch. Oh, so good. And then we packed up back in the van. My family and I. This is, just a few weeks ago, and we're. Now, here's the thing. If you recall, no, but you didn't. I didn't even mention it. This place had an indoor pool. This cabin that my brother found had an indoor pool. I never seen those before. I'm new to this, okay? I'm the new guy. So I'm like, oh, that's going to be sweet. Wait a minute. And they're the ones who found it, and then I organized it, and we put it all together. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. What if the indoor pool isn't working? What if the hot tub isn't working? And that was one of my big things. I love hot tubs and spas, and getting into the hot tub is like all your troubles are outside there's like a force field. You know what I'm saying? There's a force field out that keeps all the problems outside the hot tub. It's just you and the bourbon or the wine cooler or the wine and the Cabernet Sauvignon and a Rocky Patel and the hot tub. And there is no problems at that point in time. Am I right? Am I right? Have you ever been in a hot tub? You push a button and there's a force field and there's no problems that are permitted to get inside the hot tub area. Or maybe your hot tub doesn't have a force field button. You better check. You better double check and make sure before you purchase that hot tub that you're about to buy, it's got a force field button. That is ever so important. Anyway, I thought to myself, hey, what if these things are not operational when we get down there? So, days before we were getting ready to depart for our magical journey to the Smokies for our winter retreat with the three families together, all three of our families. A lot of bedrooms on this, so almost everyone had their own bedroom, and there was a game room, and there was the indoor pool, of course, and yes, the hot tub. So I notified the host. I said, hey, just wondering and making sure, trying to plan ahead, is the pool and the hot tub fully operational? ? And you wait for a few minutes or however long it takes. And then I got a response. Hey, the report is everything is operational. You guys are good to go. Hope you enjoy. Oh, fantastic. Really, really good. Okay, we're all set. Right? The standards go up. We're going to have a fantastic time. All these great things are going to happen. Prior to us going down, remember the puzzle I was telling you about that we all enjoyed putting together, like most of the people enjoyed putting together at the previous retreat for 2021? I got this crazy idea in my head. I thought, wait a minute, what if instead of a puzzle of some random thing we're putting together, what if instead we're putting a puzzle together of us? Like there's pictures of us in the puzzle. This will be fantastic. It's going to be so great. We're all putting together the pictures of us, and who doesn't like to see a picture of themselves, huh? All right, all the humble people out there like, oh no, I don't need to see myself in the mirror. I'm part Jewish Catholic monk turned Buddhist. I don't need to see myself. I'm fine. We're fine. I'm good in my suffering. Or, however that goes. I don't know. Maybe you're humble enough. I kind of like to see myself in a picture every once in a while just to know I was here on this earth before God calls me home. So, anyway, I thought, yes, I'll put together this picturesque a collage of pictures. Well, not every website allows you to do a collage where you can fit as many pictures in there of you and your family and everybody else in there as possible. So I thought, well, that's fine. I'll do it myself. So I put through what program was I on the Mac? I used the Pages app. Opened that up, threw a bunch of pictures on there, created a PDF, and then a JPEG, and then uploaded that up to whatever site we used. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. And I had these ideas in my head that we're all going to be sitting around this big old dining room table putting together this puzzle that we all enjoyed doing last year, except this time it's a puzzle of us, and we're drinking hot cocoa with marshmallows and cinnamon and whipped cream and a little Dazzle chocolate on top. And we're telling stories and laughing, and we have, Christmas carols in the background, and it's going to be lovely, and it's going to be wonderful, and it's going to be one of the best weekends of our life. Sort of. Sure. So I ordered that ahead of time. We had it packed. I made sure it was packed. So that's packed. Our food's packed. The kids are packed. We're packed and we're ready to go. And of course, I already checked. Pool is operational order. The hot tub is working. It's hot. It's got the force field button. We are set, ready to go. Off we went into the wild blue yonder, and we made our stops, and we get there in the air, and I'm like, oh, shoot, we're a little early because you can't check in until 4. So we hung around this general store and looking at neat things about Smoky Mountains, and I get I looked at the phone. It turns out I got an email at 2:30 in the afternoon that we could go in. The cabin was ready to go. I'm like, sweet. So we packed up and we went up to this place was steep. I'm talking, it was in the mountains, baby. We were up 1,450 square feet. I don't know how tall that is. I know it's taller than Indiana. Indiana, where we are, is not at 1,450 feet. Did I say square feet? I meant feet high. Sorry. I'm not present. I'm an idiot. Okay.
I was checking the specs on the end line for the rotary girder. I'm retarded.
1,450 feet in the air, our elevation. We get there. It's a beautiful cabin. We walk in. We're turning the lights on. Oh, this is so nice. Look at this. It's great. The views were spectacular. I mean, you got cathedral ceiling, floor to ceiling windows, and you're looking out at these spectacular mountains. I'm like, oh, I am so small compared to this. And then I got this notion that, I should go check on the hot tub right now. And I go downstairs, and there's the indoor pool. It's very warm in there. So I'm thinking, okay, that's got to be working just fine. I go out to the deck, and I open up they got the cover on there, and I open up the cover. Why does it read 78 degrees in the hot tub? Dun, dun, dun! Oh, my gosh. The earth is crumbling. Worlds are colliding. This hot tub doesn't work. Why is the heater not working? And so I had to calm myself down, climb back out of the mountains a little bit, come back down to planet Earth. He probably doesn't know that the hot tub, the main reason that it came down is the hot tub in here. There's the hot tub. Okay, maybe not the main reason, but definitely one of the primary reasons that we chose this cabin was because of the hot tub. And now to find out it's not even working. The heater's off. It's going to freeze over. My weekend is completely over. I sent him a nice little text. Hey, just checking in with you. The place looks great. One thing, the hot tub is not hot. It's actually cold. It's at 78 degrees. That's less than bathtub water. What do we do? He calls me up right away. Hey, if you feel comfortable, go ahead and pull that. Go ahead and pull the fuse out, plug that back in, and give it a couple of hours. Couple of hours? Are you kidding me? I just drove 9. I'm very pleasant on the phone. But with you, I'm going to be real. This is the real me, because in my head, I am losing it. My heart is pumping out of my chest. Do you realize, kiddo, I just drove 9. Well, I could have drove less, but Joyce doesn't like to drive, and we are in the mountains. 9 hours. I don't mind driving. It's okay, actually. I wouldn't mind the driving. The ride was comfortable. But 9 hours! All the time I am thinking, it's going to be in the hot tub. I'm going to pop out and fire up a Rocky Patel and have a nice bottle of bourbon right there. It's going to be fantastic. Not that I was going to drink the whole bottle. I feel the stares, okay? Stare somewhere else. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm calming down. I'm on the phone with him. I said, hey, let me go and switch out that fuse, and then we'll give it a little time and see what happens. An hour goes by, still 78 degrees. Another hour goes by. Ooh, 79 degrees. Oh, really? So I shot him a text. Then next thing I know, we're talking again on the phone. He says, yeah, tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to get my hot tub vendor out there. And then is 10 a.m. too early for you? I said, right now is not too early for me, honestly. I was fully hoping that this was going to be ready to go, as you had indicated a few days ago when I had texted you the first time. Yeah, well, we empty out the hot tub after everybody and then we fill it back in. So after each day, and that's clearly pointed out in the contract that you signed. I'm thinking in my head, did you just whip out a contract argument? Are you really trying to go there? Oh, my water was starting to boil and I wasn't even in the hot tub. My blood was boiling hotter than that hot tub water. But I remained calm, cool, collective. I said, what would Jesus do? Jesus would probably call down fire from heaven on top of his head and heat up this hot tub. That's what he would do. No, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. Okay, what lesson can I learn from this other than patience? And I didn't come down 9 hours into the Smokies to learn patience. But nevertheless, here we are. So we'll find something else to do. My brother and sister-in-law and the nieces arrived, and then mom and dad and our other niece arrived, and we're all down there at the cabin, and I mean, nice-looking cabin, right? I mean, it's beautiful. You're walking around. It's got a fridge. It's got a stove. All the comforts of home, right? I started thinking to myself, I'm noticing light bulbs that are out in the cabin. I'm wondering why are the light bulbs out in the cabin? I thought this was ready to go. That's okay. Then I started noticing more light bulbs out, and I thought, why is their maintenance staff not taking care of the light bulb issue? Tom, come on. Light bulbs are out. Does that ruin your... Nah, it certainly didn't ruin my stay, but it did lead me to believe, what else are they not attending to? And I started walking around the cabin. There was a lot of dust. A lot of dust. And I mean, you could take your finger and run it across the windowsill, the top of the window, that little wooden plaque. I don't know what they call it. I'm not an interior designer. There's some kind of wooden thing that goes over the draperies that goes over the window. On top of that, if you just take your finger, it will pile high with dust and dust mites. All this all over your finger. You can write the word dust on the refrigerator, stand back, and take a picture from 5 feet away and see the word dust on top of their refrigerator. There was cobwebs in every single corner of this cabin. There was a chandelier in the living area that was had 2 light bulbs out. There was a ceiling fan with a light bulb out. I know. Told, why don't you hike your skirt up, grab a ladder, and climb up there and change it out yourself. I didn't bring a ladder with me. I didn't know that we would need to change them out. And this is a cathedral ceiling. There was a light bulb completely missing from one of their chandeliers in the dining room, which they could have easily just screwed in a light bulb. I believe they do a very light cleaning with whatever cleaning staff they use, and then get them out, so that they can turn it over quickly. And I mean, the unfortunate thing is you're paying for the cleaning staff, right? You're paying for cleaning staff. You're paying for the cleaning fees. You're paying for an administrative fee. And you're paying some kind of, what was it, substitutionary? There's some kind of other fee in there. I don't even know. It's like assistant fee, system fee. What are all these fees? And look, don't clean, fine, that's your prerogative, but don't charge me for you guys not cleaning. How is that right? So yeah, that began the demise of my weekend that we were so excited about. They had internet, so unfortunately the TV was on all the time. That kind of distracts from family time, doesn't it? I'm like, why on earth would we want to pay all this money to drive all this way to stare at a TV for 12 hours a day? Why even have this thing on? You want to watch a movie? Okay, I get it, because that's a big part of our life, right? Do you have Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, HBO Max? Do you have any of those things in your life? How much time do you spend watching a movie, having the television on, catching up on Blacklist? Like, I get it. I do the same thing when I'm at home. When I'm on vacation, bro, I'm on vacation. I want to do things different. Let's do something different we don't normally do. Look, there's the Smoky Mountains. We got a front row seat. Shut the TV off. Turn off the internet. Look, there's snowfall. There's a sunrise at the Smoky Mountains, and we're at 1,450 elevation. I don't get this back home. We don't have the Smoky Mountains where I am. We can't see that far. We don't have that kind of elevation where we are. Tried to get him involved in a puzzle. I failed. I was like, hey, we got this puzzle. You're not going to believe it. You're not going to look. It's us. This was us in the pictures that we took at our last, retreat together. Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's neat. Do we want to put a puzzle together? We'll get to that later. Okay. Hey, we brought cards too. We'll get to that later. I had I screwed up. I had it in my head that we're going to enjoy, at least, most of us, for some of the part putting the puzzle together. And my family put the puzzle together. My sister-in-law, she had helped, she was putting it together. She's a good puzzle person. I'm not a good puzzle person. I enjoyed being there, a part of that. I tried several times to put one piece of the puzzle into the puzzle, and each time it was the wrong size. It's like the story of my life, right? I'm the thing that falls out of the freezer that you can't get and won't fit anywhere. I'm that piece. And what company made that? Was it like, it wasn't Tonka. Playtex? Nope, that's not it. Well, they make a different kind of, it doesn't matter. I don't need to go there. I'm just saying I couldn't get the puzzle in there, and man, it's we weren't even there that long. We got there Friday afternoon. We had all day Saturday, and then we were all leaving Sunday morning. So this literally was just a weekend retreat, and then we're gone, right? So we didn't have that much time together to begin with. It was Saturday afternoon. So far they had shown Footloose and Grease, and now they're on to they changed channels. Or maybe it was all on the CMT. They had CMT on. Who watches CMT on vacation or on retreat? Sorry. Well, apparently my family members do. And I was like, what are you guys watching? It's this thing that's, do you guys know what's the name of it? I asked my mom, couldn't answer. Asked Pops, couldn't answer. Asked my brother, no idea. You don't know the name of the movie that you're watching? What's it about? Well, this guy, he left okay, have you ever heard of the company called Hallmark? Have you ever seen any of their movies? They're if you've seen one, you've seen them all. It's been, you watching a movie about the Christmas Candle, right? And there's snow in the background, Christmas carolers, everyone's drinking hot cocoa, they're on a couch and a fire and enjoying family, and then the daughter is moving or coming back to the area. She's got an assignment, she's on vacation, she's on a winter business retreat, and so she's coming back to the small town, remote location of Vermont, and connects with her old boyfriend, or like they're all the same. That's what this was, except it was the CMT version of a Hallmark movie about some guy who was a former country music star, and he's reconnecting with his girlfriend that he left for the world, the stage, and fame and fortune. And hey, you guys want to play some cards? I'm gonna finish this movie. I feel like a failure. I built up standards for other people. It wasn't fair for them. I had these ideas in my head, just like Clark W. Griswold, that it's going to be fantastic, and we're all going to want to do the things that I want to do. That's my own pride. I didn't think that I was venturing out too far to say, maybe we could put together a puzzle. Maybe we could take a break from TV and we could all play just a few games of cards together. This is it. I mean, this is our last night in the cabin, and I couldn't pull them away from the TV. I was frustrated. The hot tub Well, at that point, this was Saturday. Finally, Saturday afternoon, the hot tub vendor guy, I don't understand what's going on. Right away, he's telling me how he doesn't need this business. He's not even with this company. He's testing it out. He does this thing 365 days a year, so he's out working all the time. He doesn't need their business, and he's going to take a look at the hot tub, and apparently he needs a new panel, and it's not working properly. He got it heated again, and give it an hour and a half, and it'll be up to optimum hot tub temperature. But at that point, the force field button didn't work. Didn't matter if you were in the hot tub or out of the hot tub. The problems were there, at least in my head anyway. I think everyone else there was mature enough to look beyond the problems. But it was from the hot tub not working to a incredibly nasty kept cabin, light bulbs missing, the maintenance staff wasn't doing their thing. We had paid for this cabin. We weren't really being together, I had these high expectations, these high standards of we're going to get there, we're going to cook together, it's going to be fun. We're going to put a puzzle together, it's going to be great. We're going to, have laughs and tell stories, and we'll make cocoa and, share it around, and we can all play a card game together for a little bit, not all day, because that's irrational. That's not realistic. We're not together all day around, so I certainly wasn't expecting that. I was just hoping that we could take a break from the norm, turn the TV off, shut down the internet, not work on work. Let's work on family. I didn't share these expectations with anyone except for Joyce. And, perhaps had I shared a couple of expectations prior to us even booking the cabin, like, hey, guys, do you think we would be able to carve out some time and together we can do a puzzle? Can we carve out an hour and just play some cards? I believe it would have been completely different, but I could be wrong. It's not fair for me to put my expectations on other people. It's not fair for me to put standards so high that no family could meet them, because it's not realistic. They don't owe me anything. And had I said a few of these things like, hey, I'm bringing some cards, do you think we could carve out, can we spend some time together? That was another thing. I believe, in retrospect and looking back and my little assessment, I think we all came to that cabin with different motives, different ideas of what was going to take place. And maybe for them, being together in the same room, looking at the same screen, that was being together as a family. Maybe for them, coming together at the cabin as families and being together in the same vicinity for them, that was enough for them. So when I talk about prioritizing standards on this podcast, I believe at least my takeaway is I can put the standards for me as high as I want to. And if my goal is that I would like our family, our boys, Joyce and I, to escape to a cabin, and we shut off the internet, we shut off the TV, it's just us, we're doing cocoa and puzzle and card games, and we're going through crazy questions. I just heard, here's a freebie for you. On the John Delaney show, he's one of the doctors with the Ramsey Group, and if you've not listened to his podcast, you should. He's an incredibly brilliant guy. He's a relational doctor, and he just talks with people about problems. They'll call in every day with their problems, and he will discuss those with that person. Like, oh, this is going on the air. Like, no, it's selected. Okay, they're calling in for help. Anyway, one of the things he was talking about was these card decks. I guess they got 3 different card decks they're selling. And they're just questions. It doesn't have anything to do with COVID, 2020, 21, nothing to do with politics, but it's about family. And I wish I could remember one of the questions. It'd be, it's sort of along the lines of, if you would you rather have a cloud of birds follow you around all day, or a cloud of dust like Pigpen from Charlie Brown? And then you talk about, it's similar to that. It's not those questions. It's not apples to apples. I forget what that was from. Would you rather, obviously. There are questions similar to those on these decks, and I was so close to buying them and bringing them down that would have totally blown the standards that I had out of the water. The expectations completely out of the water. And it would have caught them off guard, blindsided, like, what? We're all coming into we're going to answer your questions? Who are you? You're not my boss. Yeah, okay. You're right. If I want those kinds of family interactions and retreats, and maybe it's just, got to be just the five of us. And it's not fair for me to put those expectations on them. Now, if I discuss it with them prior to, and hey, maybe we could try this out, see how it goes. If you guys think it's stupid or you don't like it, or it's, completely against the reason that you came to the retreat, no problem. Now, at least we tried something different. So out of this mess of a podcast, episode 32, I think I'm on, and prioritizing standards, what in the world do you walk away with other than, I don't know if we're going to listen to him anymore? Maybe this, all right, if I can share a little bit of wisdom that I learned through this is, hey, if you're going to have expectations of other people, maybe share those expectations with them. Hey, we would love to do a retreat. And when we're at the retreat, do you think we could shut down some of the electronics for like 2 hours? Okay, 2 hours total. And do a puzzle and some card games and do some weird questions. These are great. You're going to love them. And let's do some cocoa together. And then the rest of the time, whatever. Go to the pool, go to the hot tub. Hopefully it has one of those force field buttons. And go to the game room, shoot some pool, watch some TV and relax. Because this is as much a retreat for us as it is for you guys. And that would have been more fair than what I did. Well, I certainly got something out of this podcast. Thank you very much for sharing. Really, really appreciate it. Thanks for listening. You got thoughts, you got comments, you got questions, or maybe you're just like, yeah, Toby, we're done. We're taking you off our list. Totally understand. Really do. Otherwise, send me your thoughts. I welcome those over at me@tobybaker.life. That's M-E, the pronoun me, at Toby, T-O-B-Y, Baker.L-I-F-E.